is it good, or you're in a routine during the year where it's a week, and there's a tendency, I would think, to try to do too much or try to look at too much of what they
Yeah.
do, and you're preparing for ghosts. Like, what's your
For
experience
sure.
with that, and how do you feel about that?
I think our staff does a really good job of making sure we're staying on track because it is easy. Usually you get a week, so we've had it's 3 weeks now, and you get all your planning done in the first week, and then you kind of are there, and you're like, "Okay, we got our plan," and now like just you gotta be careful of trying to find stuff that isn't really there. And our coaches do a really good job of keeping us on track, and really, instead of trying to just add more, just focusing longer on certain things, whether it's third down, red zone, whatever it is. And that's where I think we've done a good job of spacing that out. And then this week, being able to focus on things really specifically since we got out here and have most of our plan.
You always have a plan, but then I wonder if mid-game in your career, you guys have run into a situation where, for whatever reason, an aspect of the plan wasn't working. You had to adjust in the middle to something you've done earlier. Does that happen? How easy is that to do, to call back on something you've done maybe week, I don't know, 6, 7, 5, whatever, to bring it out in a playoff atmosphere or in a game where, if you win, you're done?
Yeah, I think that's, we have a lot of plays that we've done, if not every week, almost every week in our plan, and then we don't run them. So that's something that'll help us for sure. Just having those options of plays that everyone knows that we haven't put on film yet. So the whole offense has run them a million times. So obviously, I think every team has those that they put in and don't necessarily run, but just being able to, use those if we need them will be important.
As you look at the Ohio State secondary, how involved are you in each guy's individual talents and stuff like that? Are you just trustee and Justin and your guys, and you guys are going to run what you're going to run, or do you personally scout, an Okuda and Arnett, those kinds of guys, and try to find weaknesses as a quarterback that you can exploit?
Definitely. I mean, as a quarterback especially, you want to find, every game you want to find the mismatch, and you want to find just the right place to go with the ball, whether that's because of the zone, man, whatever it is, the matchup. And, that's my job, is to find the best place to throw the ball. So I think it's preparing and knowing where I want to go when it's all equal, and then also finding, little holes in their defense that I see consistently, and then also trusting your guys, when it's all equal and you don't really have a guy wide open. Being able to put the ball in a spot where we can go up and get it is important.
What's your blanket assessment of them as a secondary?
It's really disciplined. They're always in the right spot. They're really gap sound up front. They don't necessarily blitz a ton, but it's because they don't really have to, because they get so much pressure with their front, and then also their backers are looking to plug, and if they see their back staying in, they'll add on late. So just all those things are tough to prepare for, but they do a really good job of keeping everything in front of them, really containing the quarterback, and obviously their corners do a good job of just playing. They play the ball really well, and obviously Okuda and all of them are great players, but Okuda's got really good speed and can recover really well.
As far as talent and the length of those three cornerbacks, are they about as equipped as any secondary you've seen, as far as maybe being able to battle those contested balls that you don't mind throwing up to Justin and team?
For sure. I mean, trying to think of all the secondaries I've played against, and I haven't seen one. I don't think it's better. So, just they're great players, and like I said, everywhere on defense, they're really good. They're as advertised, and it'll be a challenge, but we're excited to be able to have the opportunity to go against them.
Tony was saying that they probably are 60-40 zone, and that because they disguise so much, you don't really know what they're doing until post-snap. Just how much more responsibility does that put on you to make sure you're seeing what you need to see?
I think any good defense disguises things well, and even if they don't do a ton of different stuff, they make it look like different things. So they do a good job of that, and just like I said, just picking up on little tips and clues that I find, whether it's pre-snap or post-snap, is important, and just having little things I can look at to give things away.
The last time these two teams played, I know you weren't here, but a lot of the talk before the game was that Deshaun had thrown 18 interceptions, and he threw a couple more, in fact, early in that game. What's the philosophy? You've thrown some, but it seems to me like you guys aren't afraid to throw it up, a contested ball, and you win a whole lot more of those than you lose.
Yeah, it's just, it's hard to, just with our offense and how explosive we are and the shots we take downfield, you're not going to, not throw some interceptions. So it's going to happen, and obviously it helps us that we have a really good defense, and when you have a good defense, you can take those shots and take those chances. But I mean, obviously, there's never a play where it's like, okay, this might get intercepted. And you're always trying to find the open guy. But I think that's just a product of sometimes you want a guy to make a play and the defense makes the play. That's just how it goes. And but at the end of the day, I think obviously what Deshaun did is his good far outweighed the bad throws. So we'll see how he handled it.
You took some heat early in the year for interceptions. You've since thrown a far lower number. Was there something in the beginning of the year that you felt like you weren't doing to the maximum of your ability that you've improved on and cleaned up here lately, that your numbers have improved in that area?
I think I think the biggest thing is just not trying to do too much. Beginning of the year, maybe trying, not every play. I think I did make some good plays, obviously, but just for the most part, not trying to do too much and just every play taking what the defense gives me and not trying to throw a touchdown every play. Just kind of getting a drive going and then not being afraid to throw the ball away. All of those things are really important, and taking care of the ball is the most important part of the game. If you can keep the ball, it gives you a way higher percentage to win. So just stuff that I've learned throughout the year and gotten a lot better at.
Overall, from an individual standpoint, how would you assess the season you've had to this point?
No, it's been good. I think I've gotten a lot better than I was last year, and just all the little parts of my game that I wanted to improve, whether it's accuracy on the deep throws or just pocket presence, any of those things I feel like I have gotten better at. So for me, it's been a success, and might not sound like that when you look anywhere else, but for me, I feel like I've had a really good year.
Trevor, can our junior reporter ask you a few questions?
For sure, yeah. What's up? What's your name?
Drew.
Drew, good to meet you.
Nice to meet you. Alright. You haven't lost a game in college football. Do you ever get a chance to think about how impressive that is? What do you think is due to your success?
I think it's just all the people around me. You look at me and you think it's like, okay, he hasn't lost a game, but it's really this team and last year that hasn't lost a game. So just a lot of good players around me that have helped do that. And then I thought about it a little bit, but I think about it a lot more. If we can finish this thing the right way and get third, that would be awesome.
How do you plan to avoid chasing?
I don't think you can really avoid a guy like that. Just knowing how to attack him is kind of more our mindset, and knowing how to handle him and to block him and all those things that we feel like we can get him in a bad position will be important.
With all your talent on offense, how do you know to give the football to?
How do I know who to give the football to?
Yeah.
Just like any other game, just finding the open guy and whatever the coverage is, seeing wherever the weaknesses in that coverage will be important, and then obviously Travis in the run game, and also him in the pass game will be really big too.
Who introduced you to football? What age?
I can't even remember. I've been wearing a helmet around the house since I was a little kid. There's pictures of me when I was probably 3 or 4 with a helmet on, so I can't even remember who introduced me, but I've always just loved it, grew up around it.
Have you played like in a league or school football?
What'd you say? I'm sorry.
Did you have a league?
A league? Like little league?
Yeah.
Yeah, I played where I grew up in Cartersville, and then also I played some other places, but yeah.
When did you cut your hair last?
I cut it like a month ago, actually, so I got a trim. You wouldn't be able to tell, but I got a little trim.
Why did it grow so long?
I actually had a buzz cut my freshman year of high school, and I wanted to grow it out, and then it just kind of stuck, and now I feel like I got to keep it.
What's the funniest thing Coach Swiney has said during practice?
He says stuff all the time. Anyone that knows him knows he's always talking. So I don't know. He said a lot of funny stuff. I can't think of one right now.
And lastly, what's your favorite PlayStation game?
I actually play Xbox, but now that we're at the PlayStation Bowl, get a PlayStation, it would be a good time to switch. So.
Oh, you brought it around.
No, yeah. So a lot of my friends have PS4, so now I didn't want to buy one, so now I can finally have one and play it. But my favorite game is probably Fortnite.
Right, yeah. Anyways. All right. Thank you.
Yeah, thank you.
Trevor, how have you, when you have, I'm sure you've been asked this many times, when you had the success you had in year 1, are you a vastly different guy in year 2? Do you look back ever? I mean, you won the national title as a freshman, but do you sometimes look back on film from that and think, oh man, I can't believe I did that when I was a first-year starter?
I think more. I look back and see the things that I've gotten better at this year.
Okay.
There's been a lot of plays last year that have been good plays, but I think just this year, I've been a lot more effective, and it doesn't. The way the story was written last year was just no one really expected much of me as a freshman, so I couldn't really do any wrong. So I think this year everything's been kind of critiqued and nitpicked, so it's a different narrative. But I think I've been playing a lot better this year, actually.
What's that like when you feel like you're playing a lot better, but maybe you feel like the view of it is different?
It's easy to just. It's hard to keep that perspective, but it's really important because everyone's saying something else, but really, I look at it and I watch it and I know what we're doing in our system, and I'm like, I'm playing better. And I had a few mistakes early, but it can be frustrating. But it's just really important to know what you're doing, and I know that I'm doing things the right way, and just every week trying to get better.
Trevor, you've probably been asked this before about Justin. How well do you know him? What kind of shared history do you have with him?
I know him pretty well. Yeah, we grew up, or I don't know about grew up, but we lived in high school and stuff about 20 minutes from each other probably. So just really close, and saw him at a lot of camps and all those things. And we're not super close friends, but definitely friends. And we talk every now and then, send him a text. And like I said, just seeing his journey has been really cool. Coming from right near me, going all the way to Ohio State, and then now us meeting up in this game is pretty cool.
How do you explain your ability and his ability both to just take off in your first year as starters? He's 40 touchdowns, 1 interception, 10 rushing touchdowns. You won the national championship last year. You picked right up. You think you're a better player this year. It didn't used to be the case in college football. A freshman could adapt like that, or young quarterbacks could adapt like that. How do you explain that success?
It just, to me, it doesn't matter how old you are. Just if you work hard and prepare and do things the right way, and you have the talent, like it'll take care of itself. And you see that it's been the case with him. And it's just like, it doesn't really matter how old you are. If you can play, you can play. And that's just that's how he's been.
Years ago, Ohio State played a bowl game where they were kind of undone by a guy who'd been suspended all year and he was eligible for the bowl. You have a possibility of a guy like that in Braden Galloway. Your thoughts on how easy is it to incorporate a guy in an offense when he hasn't played all season long?
I think it helps because he's been here. He's been in our offense last year, but there is some challenges. Not really practicing much with us because he didn't know how to play all year. So just trying to get him worked back in, and making sure he's up to speed on all the new things, the little wrinkles that we have in. And he's done a great job of staying in shape all year, and he's been super selfless, and he's done a lot of scout team this year. A guy with his talent, going over there and doing scout team says a lot. So just seeing how he's prepared all year, for this moment. But I think it's really important to get working back in practice and make sure he's up to speed, because it's definitely a change for him being over there with the scout team most of the year and now coming back to the offense and having to kind of learn all the little ins and outs of the new stuff we have.
Obviously, a lot of outside talk this year about the soft schedule. Is any part of you guys relishing the chance to, you're in the playoff, that's the goal, but the chance to go ahead and play a team that's so nationally respected and kind of say, hey, look, we told you guys this was garbage to talk about the schedule. Yeah,
it's super exciting, and just kind of ever since I've been here, how it's been is there's always been kind of an excuse for why we win, and if we beat someone, it's because of this or whatever it is, or if it's a close game, we're not that good. So that's just how it's always been, and we love that we have to earn everything, and that we get a chance to prove it this year for sure, in this game, and then if we win this one, in the next one.
How good has Sweeney been with using that as extra motivation for you guys? It's been a constant theme, obviously, when dealing with the media from Sweeney.
It's been, he's used a lot of it, and it's been really good. It's motivated us, and just, if he's not making stuff up, that's the stuff people are saying. So any free fuel, as he says, is, we'll take it. So
the statement game is kind of a cliche, but it should never apply really to a playoff game. But in some ways, is this a statement game, kind of in those regards? Playing this Ohio State team.
I think any game is really. I think it's just a statement if you win. Either team. If we win, that's a statement that you're the better team, and that's what we want to do. And but yeah, they're a great team, and like you said, to finally get the opportunity to play a good team is going to be fun.
Trevor, when you're a young guy and you realize that you have arm talent, when you sort of figured that out, what did that do for you in terms of, man, I have some natural ability here. If I work and cultivate this the right way, who knows what I can do? Do you sort of remember when you maybe first realized I can kind of sling this thing?
Yeah, it's probably, like 8th grade. You know, it might have been before that, but I think that's where I really started to take off. And then it's just from there, not relying on the ability to just throw the ball, because it's easy to get away with that for, you know, up kind of even through high school, but just really working on my craft and learning whatever offense I'm in, you know, the ins and outs of it, and just knowing where to go with the ball, and, you know, using my arm talent when I need to, but for the most part, just trying to find open guys and get the ball to playmakers.
What did you remember about 3 years ago, this Clemson Ohio State game? Watching
I think I was at my buddy's house in Cartersville, and we were just hanging out, watching the game, and I didn't even watch most of it. I watched like the second half, and at that point, it wasn't too close. But yeah, I mean, I remember watching the game and seeing kind of the experience and how cool it was, you know, being in the dome and all that. But I don't remember too many specific things about it.
You're just being a high school kid.
Yeah, exactly.
Travis, how important has Travis been to your to your team, and how would you kind of describe what he gives you?
Just another dimension, you know, having the balanced attack, being able to run the ball in any situation. And, you know, he has runs, he'll break off a 50-yard run, like, out of nowhere. So I think just having that big playability, you know, it's not just running the ball and getting 4 or 5 yards, you know, you can get 50 yards. And just him bringing that to the table and making our offense more balanced helps our passing game a lot.
Back to Braden for a second. How excited are you to get a weapon like that back, and how much is he itching to get back on the field from what you can tell?
Yeah, well, we've talked a little bit, especially before the season, just about this year, and then now, since it's got like closer every week to him being able to come back and play. I know he's super excited to be able to come back. It's been tough just, you know, having to sit out all year, but that's going to give us, you know, another threat downfield. And also, I mean, he's a really good blocker. He can just do it all as a tight end, so that'll help us a lot.
Trevor was asking you a little bit about the workouts you had with Justin and Ron.
Yeah.
Like, were those competitive? Like, can you just take us inside those a little bit? Like, what were those 2 or 3 workouts like when you two were on the field together?
It wasn't really, I mean, we were both pretty chill. I don't think it wasn't really like competitive. It's just Ron is both of our trainers, and so we just, you know, went to work and just work on little things. It's more just details, you know, it's not like intense like throwing competitions, like stuff like that, but just little details, whether it's footwork, you know, arm motion, any of that stuff.
What do you think about the fact that, you know, no fault of your own, you guys are connected in this weird way? You have the same trainer, you're from the same area, you're playing on this field. When y'all come out, whenever that is, you'll be talked about in the same light again. You said you're friends, but you're not close friends, but it seems like everyone in the world, when they think of one, they think of the other.
I think it's just, like you said, how close we are, and how, you know, it's just crazy that we had to come all the way out to Arizona to finally play each other. And yeah, I'm sure we'd be better friends. We never had much time, you know, with football and everything to really get close. But yeah, I mean, we're friends, and obviously I want the best for him, and definitely have enjoyed watching his growth and what he's done this year. But yeah, I think it's just being from Georgia and being right there, everyone just thinks of us in the same sentence.
Are there any parts of
with him and Burrow and some of the other quarterbacks, Jalen, this year?
Yeah, I love watching football, and I love watching good quarterbacks play. And every time I get a chance to watch any of those guys, I always do that.
Are there any parts of Justin's game that you see being similar to yours?
I think we're different in some ways, but also I could see a little bit just. I think he has a good pocket presence, and like I said, his ability to extend plays he's more of a runner than I am, but just his ability to extend plays and be a threat there helps him a lot.
Could you give me a quick clip, just like Happy Holidays, Merry Christmas, Go Tigers, something like that?
Yeah, you ready?
Yeah.
Happy Holidays and Merry Christmas, Go Tigers.